Hello there guys, welcome to a brand new anime of the season. So our story starts with Takuma, who's an office worker in Tokyo, a very normal guy with nothing special going on in his life, but he's been living alone for 3 years now, and because work keeps him busy, he hadn't had the time to do the chores. So to solve that problem, he bought a female robot named Mina. But she's a second-hand purchase, so her function are only limited to cooking and dishwashing, so as long as the food is in the fridge she cooks anything randomly that's been recorded in her system. Yet still, someone having to cook food for him made him feel nice, so Takuma thought, this must be how it feels to have a wife. So Takuma felt like hitting on Mina, but Mina didn't respond, so he asked what's in the dinner tonight, and Mina said it's his favorite, omelette rice. That surprised Takuma because Mina even remembers his likings, so with a sip of beer, he said he likes Mina the best and asked if she's okay with being his wife. Mina turned her gaze directly at him without saying anything. It was kinda scary, you know. Even Takuma felt it and said he was joking and changed the subject. With no chance at front, he sat down to enjoy his beer right there and felt ridiculous, and right then his omelette rice was ready. But when he saw the dish, his eyes were about to pop out, because how come Mina knew about this love and stuff? But for now, he kept the question and ate the dinner silently, and the next morning he searched through Mina's manual to see if it's a hidden system, but there were none. So Takuma thought that the previous owner must have done some programming. Then Mina got charged at 11:30 and woke up to prepare lunch. Then Takuma remembered about last night and couldn't sit still. He wanted to help Mina out with cooking. He was making a rolled omelette and Mina saw a few leftover egg shells. Then she reminded Takuma that seasoning is remaining as well as the oil in the pan. So he started making the dish while Mina guides him through it, and she saw bro is overcooking it, so she asked him to leave this to her. Again, her eyes were scary, so he did as she told him, and after a while he got a nice lunch. But while eating he remembers he once dated a girl, but it didn't go well, and from then on he never believed in love. But then, he again tried to help Mina out with the dishes and she said she'd be finished soon. So Takuma asked her about her preference, but she can't eat, that's against the function. But clearly that's not what he meant, and was about to ask her out about love, but he couldn't gather the courage and said her omelette rice was delicious. Then that night love thing kept bothering him and Mina was still on. She didn't go to her sleep mode and asked Takuma about his preference, and the guy thought she's asking what she should make tomorrow. So he said anything is fine, and then he remembers he had asked the same thing and said he likes her the best. Hearing this, she goes into sleep mode, and bro gets a setback. Then the next morning in half-asleep state, Mina brought the breakfast, which was her head, and luckily he woke up before he goes over to heaven right from the dreams. There Mina had already made breakfast, and while eating he cleans up to Mina that he said he likes her but not as a food, he doesn't want to eat her. Valid. So Mina said she's made up of metal and resin, it's toxic for him, so please never think about. Then one of the following day at night while Takuma returns from work, he sits down to have a beer to vent out and saw Mina. Takuma knew robots don't have likes or dislikes. Plus living alone is sad, yet he has to move on from Mina. So while thinking if she likes him or not, Takuma kept drinking non-stop, so Mina told him to refrain because it will affect his health. Because he had drunk around 1 liter of beer can and yet bro still wants to drink more, so Mina went to the kitchen and brought back a full jug of water to make him drink the same amount of it. She forced the water down his mouth, and after that drunk got even more drunk and asked Mina to fetch him another can of beer. Well, Mina did as she was told. She took out beer but only to flush it down in the basin and tells there's no beer left. Takuma is completely wasted, and there he asked her about how she feels about him. Mina said she thinks of him as her husband because just the other day he asked her to be his wife. It means a relationship, and she searched it online what it means. Still, she thought to double check it, and Takuma said there's no need. Then Mina asked what is the duty of a wife, and Takuma said spending time with him and making him food, but she does that every day, which was correct. So Takuma said he wants to help her out in the work, but if he does that, according to Mina's log files, it will be a drop in work efficiency. But bro was in no state, so Mina puts him in the futon, but he couldn't sleep and asked Mina to sleep beside him. But Mina refused, saying for a proper sleep he needs a comfortable space. But Takuma got stubborn, and if there was a normal robot around, she wouldn't have listened. So as Mina lays down beside him her eyes were still scary, so Takuma asked her to close it and she closed it, Mina then asked if he had any symptoms like nausea or dizziness. Takuma said there's none. Instead, he was conscious that a girl was sleeping beside him, which made him boil up, so Mina asked what does that mean. Ain't no way he could tell her that, but Mina had done some research in it and asked if she could do anything, but Takuma said just having her next to him is enough because it makes him happy, and just like that the sweet night passed out, but the next day bro knew everything he blurred out in drunk state, and there Mina had her eyes half closed so Takuma thought she needs sleep. But again she's a robot so Mina said there's nothing wrong with her system as well. Then Mina asked if he is having a hangover, but there was nothing like that so she started making breakfast with full eyes, and when Takuma called her out, she again made half eyes. He knew it and apologized for the night. Takuma clears up that he didn't mean it was scary, it was just that her eyes were so beautiful that made his heart pound. So Mina returned to normal, and Takuma happily enjoyed his breakfast. And the first episode ended with that. But this recommendation is for those guys who loves anime songs. The ending of this anime is quite nice. I have already listened 10 times and even added to my playlist, so give it a try. The ending song is seriously good, and just like that, subscribe the channel and like the video if you want more recaps like this one. Until then, take care.